Welcome to the second stage of the Lahn-Kinzig Trail. I hiked the stage in May 2024. The day began at the Dünsberg hiking car park, where I started with a brief visit to the reconstructions of the Celtic Gate and Celtic farmstead. In the video about the first stage, I promised to give you more information about the Dünsberg. Do you remember my video about the Glauberg? In that video, I gave some basic information about the different periods of Celtic existence. First, there was the still Bronze Age Urnfield culture, followed by the Hallstatt period, during which salt was mined and long-distance trade routes were developed. Finally came the Latin period, the age of Asterix and Obelix, and of the stereotypical Celts as we commonly imagine them today. The Glauberg belongs to the late Hallstatt and early Latin phase, and was used between the 6th and 1st centuries BC. The Celtic settlement on the Dünsberg lies closer to our own time, and belongs more to the late Latin period, roughly the 3rd to 1st centuries BC. The Dünsberg, therefore, appeared relatively late in Celtic history and survived many other Celtic sites. The Romans were already advancing northward, and the first Germanic tribes were forming during a transitional period between Celtic and Germanic cultures. The type of settlement also differed between the Glauberg and the Dünsberg. The Glauberg, with its powerful burial mounds, was a princely seat. It functioned not only as a political center of power, but also as a cultural site. Adjacent to the burial mounds on the plateau there was a small settlement. The Dünsberg, on the other hand, was a larger fortified settlement, known in technical terms as an oppidum. It was protected by a triple ring wall system. As a regional urban center, it provided space for living, craft production and trade. Although a few cult objects were found there in a decentralized manner, the Dünsberg never held a cultural status as outstanding as that of the Glauberg. There was also no ruling prince at the Dünsberg. Instead, the society seems to have been structured in a more typical hierarchy of social ranks. Economically, the Dünsberg stands out as a center of metallurgy. There were rich iron ore deposits nearby. Archaeologists have found an above-average number of iron tools and weapons, and the discovered slag and raw metal pieces indicate local metal processing. Coins were also minted at the Dünsberg. Archaeologists named this coin series the Dancing Man. The gate complex and the farmstead that can be seen today as reconstructions were built in 2001 and 2005 using traditional materials: wood, earth, natural stone and clay, as part of experimental archaeology. However, in their appearance, they're interpretative reconstructions and do not exactly replicate any specific structure discovered on the Dünsberg. Unfortunately, it was not possible to enter the Celtic farmstead. After a short walk around the site, my hike began. The destination for the day was the university town of Gießen. Coming out of the forest, there was a beautiful view of the two castles Gleiberg on the left and Vetzberg on the right. Gleiberg was the main castle and Vetzberg a secondary castle of the Counts of Gleiberg. Gleiberg Castle was built around the year 900 and served as the residence of the Counts of Gleiberg. Around the year 1100, the castle was destroyed by King Henry V, who later became Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Personally, I find the far-reaching connections you discover during post-production absolutely fascinating. Henry's wife was Empress Matilda, one of the key figures of the period in England known as the Anarchy. The Anarchy, in turn, is the historical period in which Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth is set, and it also served George R. R. Martin as inspiration for the Dance of the Dragons, now depicted in the television series House of the Dragon. It is remarkable how far such connections can lead when starting from an apparently insignificant local castle ruin. Shortly before reaching Gießen, I passed the Bismarck Tower. It was built in 1905 by the students and professors of Gießen University in the memory of the Reich Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, who had died a few years earlier. The tower was constructed from a local stone called Londorf-Lungstein. The name Lungstein probably derives from the fact that it is a porous basalt stone from the nearby Vogelsberg volcanic region, and as a porous stone with its many small cavities can metaphorically breathe. Lunge in German means lung in English. Later during the Lahn-Kinzig trail we will also hike to the Hohe Rotskopf, the second highest peak of the Vogelsberg. In addition to the Bismarck Tower, Arnsburg Monastery was also built from Lungstein. You already know the monastery from the video that now appears as a link. Next to the Bismarck Tower, an entire group of storks had apparently settled, and I lingered there for a while to watch them. Finally, I followed a rather overgrown path down into the city, crossed the Lahn River and then turned right towards the train station. The Lahn River hiking trail is still on my to-do list. Thank you so much for hiking with me today. I hope I will see you soon for some more exploration.